Morning guys, happy Monday. It's Monday, June 30th today. We're about to welcome a new week together. Doesn't that sound super fun? I don't think I would read it again just because I don't think the personalities of the characters were my personal cup of tea. They're cute. They gave stickers with Dutch Bros drinks today. It's the awkward pauses where you don't know if someone's gonna speak or say something. Like I had just had the most awkward pause ever in a meeting. It was like, this is so odd. Okay, I'm officially all dressed for the day. I'm about to clock into work now, but I got a Dunkin' latte with 2 pumps of cookie dough in it yesterday, and it was so good. I was like, I gotta save this. So this is gonna be our morning caffeine because we have a 5-hour work day in front of us, and then obviously I like to be productive afterwards, so coffee is a must. But let's head to the desk. Just got off of work and it's now time to read some nonfiction. I did this during the school year where I tried to read a Christian nonfiction book specifically every week, and it worked really well, just making sure that I was I don't know, getting practical spiritual discipline tips and tricks while also reading something that wasn't academic. It was fun. But I have a Christian nonfiction that I want to read this month, but my main kind of goal is reading Atomic Habits because I really want to work on habit building. And I also read a Christian review about this book, and they were just talking about how practical it is and how, yeah, just practical and realistic some of the habits were, rather than just being very, I don't know how to describe it, very gimmicky. I think that's the word. They were there's some pretty practical habits and tips and stuff in here that will genuinely help you. But I've also seen a lot of YouTubers that I like, and I love how productive they consistently are without getting burnt out. They've said they've read it and they liked it. So we're gonna do maybe just 15 minutes, or I like to do by chapters, finish a chapter, but I don't know how long these chapters are, so let's see. Chapter 1 is 28 pages, so I think we're gonna try a chapter a day and see how it goes. But I just like to get myself off of the screen after finishing work, so my eyes aren't I don't know. I just don't like being on a screen for 5 hours straight and then going and getting on another smaller screen, aka my phone. So let's do some reading. Brussels sprouts on the stove because I want to eat some Sam's Club pizza leftovers for lunch, but I needed some vegetables, so we're gonna cook those. But I think I just found my next read. I've been trying to read through summer beach reads, as you guys will know, but I'm running into a standstill of finding clean adult summer beach reads because that's what I want to read first, because I'm adult and I like to read adult fiction more than YA, but I usually just end up reading YA because it's usually the cleanest. But I think I found an audiobook of a black beach read. I think I'm gonna try this audiobook and see how I like it. I actually just charged up my headphones that have been dead for months, so we're gonna see how I like it.
Handsome in my eyes. We keep his hair.
My brows, can you tell? It's been an hour since I plucked them, so they're not as red, but I feel I ate. I really love thin brows on me. But I got myself a cup of coffee, and I actually had to stop the last audiobook that we literally were just reading because so quickly after I filmed that clip, they just started talking about spicy subjects, and I was like, why are we doing this? It was so weird. They just started talking about a bunch of sensual topics, and I was like, this is so odd. Mind you, she was talking to her coworker, so I was like, that we're not gonna do that. Cheers to the first work meeting of the day, even though I've already drunken half of my coffee. It's not even 9 a.m. Happy July. Just finished my first meeting of the day and I switched scenery. I moved over to this corner, and I think the one thing I'll never get over Zoom meetings about, or like whatever the case may be, online meetings about, is the awkward pauses when you don't know if someone's gonna speak or say something. Like, I had just had the most awkward pause ever in a meeting, and I just had to like apologize and be like, I'm so sorry. Like, I was just making sure like we got our introductions out before I just started like shooting questions, because I literally have a list of questions that I ask at every meeting that I attend, just to make sure that I'm like asking the questions that I need to, networking how I need to. But it was just so awkward. But we're gonna resume normal work. But yeah, that meeting was so awkward. I just needed to like talk about that. But it ended well. I got some good book recommendations. But I was just like, oh, the awkward pauses. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're moving on. We're not gonna bask in the awkwardness. But it was so awkward, and I'm not an awkward person. But maybe I am. Maybe that's what that just revealed, that I am quite awkward. Maybe so. Hey guys, it's quite a bit later in the day. I just ended up filming some book content, and then I was reminded that I've been needing to move all of my book content to my book specific channels for a while. If that sounds confusing, basically I started making book content and just posting it on this YouTube account, but on TikTok I had a separate book account that I like started and just was posting videos, but I didn't have a separate book account for any of my other socials. So I was essentially posting on a separate book account only on TikTok, and then posting everything else on just like my main platforms, like such as this one. But I now have a book account on all my socials that I usually post on, so I now have to go and move all of my book account to the book specific accounts, if that makes sense. It may sound confusing, but essentially a lot of book readers love when all the book stuff is in one account, one space. They don't interact with vlogs or lifestyle things like I post on this account. So that's what inspired me to make the book specific account, but I just never went and reposted all my book specific stuff to the book account only. So that's what I'm doing right now. Literally editing and just uploading all of it so it can go. You can see it like meshing with my newer content, but I've just been needing to do it. This one is for my YouTube, but I still have to do this on Instagram, so it'll be a little process, but it's been needing to be done, so I decided to just go ahead and knock it out this evening. Okay, I want to take you guys inside of Ollie's today because I made a lot of content about him but haven't showed you in. Okay, I want to take... Happy Wednesday, y'all. It's my final work day. I actually just got off of work not even 30 minutes ago, and we're about to go get coffee. I've also been really loving coconut scents and stuff, so I want to show y'all my favorite scent combo. It starts with the deodorant. Sounds crazy, but I love to use the Secret Weightless Dry Spray. I think sprays are like the hack for just clear deodorant, like lines in your armpits during the summer if you're wearing like a sleeveless top or anything, and you don't like when people can see the white lines of your deodorant. I don't know, it's just a personal thing. Hey, at least I got it on. But if you don't like that, dry sprays are the way to go, and Secret has really good ones. So I use their coconut dry spray, and then I go in with the coconut palm mix bar. spritz. This is the Target brand, and y'all, this smells so good. Like, it's coconut palm, it's very coconutty, but still very like grown at the same time. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like coconut be smelling musty. I don't know if that's just me, but sometimes it be smelling musty. But this coconut is like a fresher coconut. Like, I think when people try to go like sweet, like almost like bakery, you know what I mean, type coconut, it get in the musty. But when it's like fresh, like almost like fresh linen coconut, like a really just like fresh coconut, it hit. I don't know what it is, but that's been my favorite combo. And I usually will pair the coconut spritz with just any of my Sol de Janeiro spritz. Either it's the 71, which clearly I've used so much that the label's off, but buying the big one is actually a pretty good deal. I'm not sure how much I paid for this, but I know I bought this a while ago and I'm still using it. So I'll use something like this if I want a more gourmand scent, but the gourmand is from the spray, not from the coconut, because remember, it be getting, okay. Or I'll just do literally like Bath and Body Works, something light, like their brown sugar, I think their warm brown sugar vanilla, something like that, or even like vanilla bean Noel, something like that. But that's my favorite combo, so I'm gonna spritz that on, and then we're gonna go to, I think, Dutch Rose and get some coffee. Let me show y'all the fit details. This is a set from Shein. I think I got this in a medium, and then my little sister crocheted me this bag for my 21st birthday. And then I just have my white canvas Birks on. My older sister makes fun of how they look, but they're such a comfy shoe. Took a stop at our local Sun Club, which is basically like an Asian mart. We get all our coffee from here. But I've been drinking 2 cups of coffee, so I'm trying to find a coffee that's sugar-free, because I want to do one coffee like all my sugar and stuff, and then one without. But I usually get G7, this one, and it's really good. Are now at Dutch Bros. I was gonna get a drink, but I decided that I actually want Taco Bell instead. Listen, I'm just a girl at the end of the day. Taco Bell has a $5 box where I can get 2 tacos, a sweet, and then a drink, and I'm just gonna get their coffee. I love Dutch Bros, but sometimes $5 for a coffee I can't justify, especially if I know I want another like sweet snack or something else to eat out. And I often also don't like hopping from fast food restaurant to fast food restaurant, so yeah. Just to clarify the following clips, my sisters ended up getting Dutch Bros. I was the only one with Taco Bell, so that's why you'll see Dutch Bros drinks. I was not big bagged. I did not get both, but I wanted to clarify. Very cute. They gave stickers with Dutch Bros drinks today. So cute. Dream women. What's the flavors in that one? Iced coffee. Iced coffee. And then for the beefy crunchy taco, can you take out the beef and put black beans? Black beans. And then the same thing for the beefy 5-layer burrito. You can do regular and black. Yeah, we can keep the regular beans, but just replace the meat. We're just trying to replace the beef. It's Atomic Habits reading time. We're back to our regularly scheduled program. I've been reading a chapter a day. I feel like I'm learning a lot about habits. It's very basic stuff, but probably stuff that you would tell like an athlete or probably like a serious professional, just like habits to make their life easier. It's literally just talking about making habits that help you live the life you want to live. And so it's just being like, if you know that you want to prioritize, for example, going to church every Sunday, you need to make sure you have things in place to get up and go to church every Sunday. They literally were giving an example and being like, if you say you want to be religious, you need to then partake in religious activity. Like, it's just talking about adopting identities as well with building habits, because the actions you make define the person you are, which I'm like, yeah. But it's just very, I think, like fundamental information, but I think it's good to repeat and like to remind, I don't know, somebody that like, hey, you like binging on sweets every single day is not a good habit. Let's work on that. Or you, for example, they said like playing video games anytime you need a stress relief is not a good habit if you know that it just creates a sedentary lifestyle for you. Like, I feel like it's kind of tea, but it's also very like fundamental, like basic. Like, they're not doing too much, because that's my fear with nonfiction. I feel like we'd be doing too much sometimes, and the conclusions we get to, I'd be like, girl, how do we get there? But this one, I feel like it's making sense so far. I will say that. Hey guys, happy Thursday. We don't have work today, so you know it's a cozy day. And I've been listening to an audiobook since I think Tuesday, but I didn't tell you guys about it because honestly, Monday and Tuesday, I think I was trying to read like books, like actual like physical books, and I kept having to like DNF them because of their spice ratings and stuff. So I was like, I don't want to tell y'all I'm reading another book and then like I stop reading the book. But I'm 5 hours into this audiobook. I'm pretty far into this audiobook, and I think I could say that this low-key may be one of my favorite reads. It's called By the Book by Jasmine Guillory. It is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but it takes place in like California and New York about a black girl who works as a publishing assistant at a publishing company. And she basically has this one author who never wants to write nothing. And so they go to California for a book-related trip, but the author actually lives in California. So she stops by his crib and was like, hey, been emailing you for a couple months, because she sends him emails weekly and he never responds. And she's like, hey, just like wanted to check in on you, see if you needed help with book. And from first meet, they have this crazy banter, crazy like back and forth. And she said something about him of like her possibly staying and helping him, and he was like, yeah, you can stay, and give me pep talks every single day. And so that's been the book since then, of them living in the same house, but she lives upstairs and he lives downstairs because that's how big the house is. But also it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and you know, Beauty and the Beast, they end up living together. But I think the author is just doing such a good job of making it a contemporary book, but also the female lead is also a plus size black woman. She's dark skinned, so I just love seeing people in books that I see in real life. Like, I love that so much. And also the audiobook is read by a black lady, so it's just tea. So I'm gonna be listening to that all day, and I'm gonna have to tell y'all how it ends because I have 4 hours left in the book, and if I really keep trekking, I should be able to finish it by this vlog ends and let y'all know how I like it, because I've never read anything by Jasmine Guillory because she writes spicy books. So I was super excited to know that this book had no spice in it whatsoever. There is language, but it's not on every single page. It's usually in the heat of arguments, because that banter sometimes goes into being arguments, and let's just say the male lead has a lot of baggage. But yeah, I'm now going to make some matcha while listening to more of this book, but I wanted to let y'all know how I'm like what I'm reading and how I'm liking it, because I hate that I always have to like DNF books. But like, if you're trying to read clean, it's worth it. It's worth it because you'll find a good clean book and be like, this is what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be spicy for me to like the book. So I'm always gonna keep reading, but I just sometimes be getting like, let me not tell the girls what I'm reading just to make sure. But 5 hours deep, I think I can let y'all know what I'm reading, and it's tea. I love it so far. But let's go make this matcha. Later, and I'm about to take these rollers out. I did them yesterday afternoon because I wanted to refresh my hair for 4th of July, but it also was starting to look really bad in my opinion. I think the one thing I've learned about locks is that when they start looking rough, like, it's not like, oh, it's just a bad hair day once. It's like, no, you either need to restyle them or do a retwist or do something to them. So I'm just getting better at, like, you know, peeping that of being like, okay, I need to either restyle my hair, retwist it, or like something has to change. So I have been doing like roller sets, and that's been my favorite way to wear my hair. I think I told y'all before I think my hair really started thickening up that I was struggling with finding styles that looked presentable to me, and that wasn't just I think an experience that I just had as a lock girly. I think a lot of lock girlies talk about specifically them not feeling feminine. I don't think it was that I didn't feel feminine, because I don't know, as a female I feel like I always feel feminine, but I think it was just a lack of like feeling put together. But I will say, since finding like roller sets and just like doing flexi rods in my hair, I will say that I've like not had that struggle as much. And when my hair starts looking bad, I'm gonna be honest with you, to me, I'll just do another roller set, And the roller sets usually last about 2 weeks, which I find is perfect. So say you don't retwist your hair for a month, you have just 2 times that you're really touching it and doing a lot to it, and that's just when you're doing the 2 roller sets. But my hair, I will say, has thickened up immensely since starting to do them, and it's just super fun. So this time I actually braided like sections of my locks, and then I put a curler on the end and sat underneath the dryer for 35 minutes on medium heat. And then I just used a mousse. I've been trying out different mousses, but I think I'm gonna have to go back to the Dew mousse. Even though that mousse is so expensive, I think it's worth it. For reference, I think it's like a $15 mousse, which to me is so insane, but it really does keep the curls, at least in my head, it kept the curls for like almost a month. Like they lasted for 3 weeks, which I'm like, that is like such a good deal. So like if, for example, I retwisted my hair every month, I probably would only just do 1 curler set for the month. And that means, like, when I tell y'all, when I do these curler sets, I literally take the curls out, put oil on them, will grease my scalp, but I don't do anything else to my head. So I can sleep, I just put a bonnet on and sleep like that. And to take the bonnet off, I work out with the curls. Like, I don't do anything to them. I don't pull them up, I don't have to pin them, I don't have to do anything. Like, it's literally such a low maintenance kind of style for locks. So like, I was like, $15 for a mousse is crazy, but if I know my hair is going to look good for at least 3 weeks, I feel like that's a sacrifice I can make. So we're gonna see how this goes. All I have to say of the braiding technique, because I will say also, when you do the flexi rod set, you have to make sure you get every lock and that they're in the correct direction for you, or they will come out looking kind of scraggly and like your just curls are going everywhere. So yeah, and you also want to make sure that you do it on wet hair. I think the last time I retwisted my hair, it was so hot that like literally the water had dried out by the time I finished like certain parts of my hair, and I could tell when I took the curlers out of like my hair was not as wet as it should have been. And I think the wetter your hair is, the more malleable it is and more it takes to the curls. So yeah, I'm gonna finish taking these out, but when I take them out, I literally just like keep pressing them to my head and I'll do like this. I don't ever comb them out because then the curls are gonna be out, but I'm gonna finish taking them out and then we are going to leave the house. Editing this because I just don't realize that my little sister got a tattoo before I did. My older sister and my little sister ended up getting tattoos this day. They've been thinking about getting tattoos at this specific shop for a while, so they just went ahead and I just tagged along. But I'm now just realizing like I really could have got a tattoo that day, but I just don't know what tattoo I should get. So if y'all have ideas of like what should be my first tattoo, let me know. I know if this is your first vlog with me, you're like, girl, I don't know nothing about you, but still leave a comment below, because for like reference, I love reading, if you can't tell in this vlog, but I also love God and I love like anything artsy. So I'm like wondering, like, should I do something like small in script, or should I do like an icon, an emblem? Like, I don't know what I should get as my first tattoo, but I'm just literally editing this being like, wow, my little sister got her tattoo before I did, and I don't like that. So I need to figure out what tattoo I want to get, y'all. It's probably not going to be like next vlog, but like, who knows? But I really want to get one before the summer's out, but we'll see. Drop comments below and maybe I'll change my mind about it, but I'm really like, I could have got one. Hey y'all, I got some more of the Bath and Body Works lotions. My older sister has one called Velvet. Hold on, this morning. My older sister has one called Velvet Sugar that smells amazing, and it's like a pink sugar scent. So I want to like put my pink sugar body oil and perfume and stuff on and see how it fares. But we also got Tutti Frutti, and it's raining. Not like cats and dogs, but just rainy, humid. Hey, good morning, guys. It is 4th of July today. Oh, I can't get a camera. Okay, it's 4th of July today. I'm about to go on a bike ride. I just finished a core workout. It was so bad, y'all. Like, it was so hard. But the crazy thing is, like, we weren't doing like, you know, mountain climbers, a bunch of like planks and stuff. It was all on the mat. Like, I was just laid on my back, so like it was just hard. But it was like bird dogs. It was a lot of like spinal twists and stuff, but it's a Pilates. It said it was like abs and mobility, which mobility is like really important, especially if you have back problems or back pain or anything. It's really good to keep mobility workouts in your repertoire. So yeah, but I'm about to go on a bike ride since it's 4th of July. It's supposed to be raining all day today though, so we'll see how that goes because Texans love some good fireworks, but if it's raining. So yeah, I don't think we're doing anything particular today. I also finished by the book yesterday, the audiobook I was talking to you guys about. I put my rating on Goodreads. I'll just have to talk to you guys about that later though, because like I still am like trying to grapple what the heck happened in that end of that book. Like I feel like that book just spiraled the more I listened, but I feel like I just spoiled half of the book. So actually, yeah, I'll talk about it later because I feel like I'm like, the more I talk about it, the more I'm spoiling. So let's go on this quick little bike ride. I don't know if I'm going to bring y'all or not because it's raining or it's about to rain. So we'll see. But I also don't want to be out there too long because of my head. Let's see. Let's see. We just got back to the house. We ran and did some errands real quick. Tell me why every store was packed, but we had to like dip and dot through stores trying to find antibacterial soap. I've talked to y'all about this. It's ridiculous how there's so many soaps on the market that smell good. Y'all saw that Crumble, Dove soap and everything. None of them are antibacterial. And antibacterial essentially means that it's killing bacteria that should not be on your body. It's insane. But I found my Dial Advanced Clean. I use the Dial Antibacterial Gold Bar, and this is the Dial Advanced Clean Gold like liquid soap. So I just use the bar and then I'll go back over it with just the soap. Sometimes also the bar takes a little bit to lather, so I like to just do them both. And there's the same exact fragrance and everything. This actually has a little bit of a stronger fragrance, but it's like a minute to find it. And this was $3.98. This one was, but I saw it at, we went to Kroger and it was literally $5. I was like, that's insane. But the Dove antibacterial soap, theirs is $8, and I used to buy theirs, but like $8 a month is crazy for a soap. Insane. But we're gonna put these groceries up. I'm about to make myself some food, and then I'm probably going to get back to reading because I started a new book. Still gotta talk to you about that last book that I finished, but let me get settled, eat, and then we gonna debrief. I have sat on the plot of By the Book by Jasmine Guillory all last night and all day today, and I think I can finally give y'all a rating. I think I would rate it a 3 out of 5 stars, but would I read it again? No, but I would most definitely tell other people to read it just to try it out, because I think the representation of the book of having both leads being black but also both of them being black professionals was something that I loved so much. I loved seeing kind of the inner workings also of their relationship, and I listened to the audiobook and I loved all the black other characters. Like, it was just so much black culture in it that I loved it, but I did not love the female lead and her actions, and I felt like the male lead got dismissive at times. So I don't personally think the personalities of the characters were my cup of tea, but I most definitely would like recommend that book if someone's like, I've never really read a book with like 2 black professionals in it, like who find love. Like, what is a recommendation? Or just like an adult black romance, that would be one that I recommend. There is language in it, but it's still closed door, no spice on the page, and it didn't get like borderline spicy either. Like, the author did a really good job of like keeping it cute but also keeping it adult, because I think sometimes when there's no spice it can feel a little juvenile because like the characters simply just don't express their feelings or like their physical related feelings of like if they think the person's beautiful and stuff like that. Sometimes the authors will like kind of spare away from that, but I think the author did such a good job of just like truly showing like the kind of I don't know, like the honeymoon stage of romance, but it also was loosely based off of Beauty and the Beast, and those little gibbets were so cute too. So like I most definitely would recommend the book to someone, but I don't think I would read it again just because I don't think the personalities of the characters were my personal cup of tea. But I had to sit on that rating for a while because I had rated it lower. I had rated like a 2.75. Was thinking about doing it for a 2.5 star, but I think the ending and everything, all accounted, it's just a really cute black romance that I would be like, if you are new to black romance, try it out. And it's also slow burn, which I feel like if you're gonna be reading the spice-free romances, you gotta get used to the slow burn. You have to. So it's like a good beginner's spice-free black romance, for sure. Right now, I'm going to get into some more reading because it's a literature girl summer. It's a literature girl summer. I will be reading all summer, and my head hurts as well, so I don't need to be knee-deep in my phone. I need to be knee-deep in my Kindle. So I started another book yesterday. This one is called, girl, hold up. It's called Until I Met You by Amber Rose Gill. This is super cute so far. It's supposed to be spice free. There hasn't been any language or anything so far at all. I think there was one cuss word, and it was the word for butt. Like it wasn't super like jarring like the F-bomb or anything like that, because I know some people have like different, you know, feelings about cuss words and stuff in books, and like what is considered a cuss word, but it's super cute so far, so I'm gonna just keep reading this. I love the banter between the female and male lead already. It's like tea, so I'm praying the book is good.